Hi Libra, this is your July 2018 Astrology Horoscope. If you have your ascendant, sun, moon, or any major planets in Libra, then this is the video for you. July, in my view, is the most pivotal month of this year as it has two eclipses, and the last eclipse of this year would be in early August. And the main eclipse for you this month is the early July eclipse, which falls on Cancer, which is your fellow cardinal sign, and hence it directly affects you. Eclipses always bring about changes in some way or the other, essentially to help us move up to where we need to go or move us out of a situation we are stuck in. They could be scary to start with, they could be painful a little bit. Some of the changes are painful, but they're essential. And not every eclipse is life changing for us, but when they fall on an important axis for us, like it does for yours this month, they become life changing for us. So I would, if there's a month, if I would do any astrology horoscope, one astrology horoscope in a year, I think July would be the one. Whether it's through my channel or any other, I think you should focus on that. Libra is a very up close and personal sign for me. My husband is a Libra ascendant and my child is a Libra sun. So I did a very detailed analysis on what's coming this month because I felt this was a very important month for them because the eclipses, the first eclipse in Cancer starts off in July, on 12th of July, and it's on the 4th 10th the axis. 4th 10th axis is an angular axis, and these are angular houses. Angular houses are the ones that change or make our destiny. Fourth house makes our home and family and private life, our inner self destiny, and 10th house makes our work destiny. Who are we known as at our work destiny? So when that axis comes into play, this is the first eclipse that starts changing that equation. And hence, July becomes a very pivotal month for you because you'll see the first glimpse of this change at workplace come about for you, or the first glimpse of what's about to come in the next 2 years for you to start to get initiated. You have your North Node or your Rahu currently transiting 11th, and it will move into your 10th house at the end of the year in November. What does that mean? The focus of changes for you and the eclipses for you will move towards the 10th house and 4th house. As I said, the 10th house defines your workplace. What do you do? Who are you known in the world as? What is your title at your workplace? And that's about to go through a massive change and possible massive exaltation, which you at this stage may not have an inkling to. And that's what July is about to do. Between the 12th of July to 27th of July, you should receive some sort of an initial message of where you're going and how your identity is about to change. I'll go into the new moon in more detail. The other part that plays out in this month, which is the focus apart from this work-life balance, where you have to toe the line and both your work life and your home life is changing significantly. The other thing that plays out is the Mars retrograde in your house of creativity and love for others. So your love life is about to have some amount of stress and maybe a bit of letting go. I'll talk about that in the second part of the video. If you're interested in that, you can go to the second part. So let's start with the most significant event, right? I mean, let's go right into it. 12th of July, there's going to be a new moon solar eclipse at 20-degree Cancer in your 10th house of work, your title, how high do you go at workplace, your material destiny in the world, your bosses, your authority figures in your life, to some extent even potentially your father, if that's who you look at as authority figure in your life. If you are if you have any planets between 16 degree to 26 degree of Libra, or if you were born say between 9th of October to 19th of October, you would be directly hit with this eclipse, and this is life changing for you if that's where your planet sits. Your This is also squaring the ascendants of Libra and squaring the ascendant or sun of Libra, so there's a little bit of identity change. What is this bringing? The new moon solar eclipse always brings about some new beginnings for you, and it it is a new beginning in your public life. So if it's close to your midheaven, it could be potentially a news about a promotion, a change in job that is happening for you. You might be being looked at by your superiors for maybe moving to the next stage of promotion. It is very important for you to present yourself, your best self at work right now if you're working in a corporate world, or even if you are working on your own. People are watching you in the coming weeks. The light is thrown on you at your workplace. So when light is thrown at your work sector, you have a lot of people looking very minutely at how you perform over there. It will be very tough to hide what you're doing at work. So it's very important for you. It's like, say you were being considered for promotion and you don't know it, or maybe you are being considered for a new career path, and there is somebody who's watching you to take you with them on this journey. It is an intense energy. Pluto is opposing. Pluto is an intense transformative planet, and it's opposing this new moon. So it will bring about transformation on who you are, and you should pay strong attention to that. While this is happening, as I was telling you, there's an axis that will come into place. Now, one side is work life, the other side is home life, and as astrology would have it, or as God would have it, the two houses oppose them. So when something happens in your work life, there is an intensity in your home life which is taking your attention as well. There is an opposition which plays out between the 10th house and the 4th house, not specifically because of this new moon, but this is an energy which will be active for some time with you, and it is intensified a little bit because there is Saturn, the planet of the strict planet in that house, sitting and asking you to pay your dues to your home life. Now this is not necessarily your partner. This is more, it could be more about your family house, your parents, the elderly in the house, and you might be working very hard either in making a better house for your family. You might be moving into a new place. You might be making modifications into your current house, and Saturn is retrograde in that, so it's very strong in that. You are as a sign very dedicated and very hardworking on the home responsibility bit. So this is not a very jarring energy for you, but at the same time, the polarity between work life uh, and home life will come into play, and your attention will be getting split between the two. There is also a full moon in Capricorn, which is going to happen on 28th of June. So end of June, you have that full moon coming about, which will make it intensified. You might see some polarity of that, some tension maybe as well of playing that out at the end of June. So you just need to manage that. I think you're already, Mars was there in your fourth house most of March and April, so you might have been working on some house move, or as we were, I mean, my husband has been very busy with the house, and Librans that I know, they've been very busy either with their parents, either something to do with their parents, either unfortunately their health is not doing very well, or they're relocating their houses. So you have already been paying your dues probably in that direction. You will see that it has been taking some amount of your energy away. End of June, though this 28th June full moon would have seen some culmination, maybe some initial positive result of that if you've been putting in the effort, that is, because Saturn is conjunct with this full moon on 28th. So Saturn is bang sitting on top of this full moon. So if you have not paid your dues, you might see some not so positive results as well. So Mars was there. There's a higher likelihood, and you are very dedicated, as I said, as a sign towards your family and your home life. So if you have paid your dues, you might have seen some move come about, maybe a house closure, maybe if you were working on some repairs on your house, that might have got through. Or you might have you might have some women in your family play a major role, especially your mom. Maybe your mom is undergoing some changes and you're supporting her in this time. Saturn and fourth also requires you to pay your dues, as I said. So it might be a good idea to do some work on your house or support or taking care of elders. You don't need a transit to tell you that, but it's just a reminder that you need to pay your dues to this set in your life. And so this is your 12th of July and the polarity of the 10th and the 4th house, which plays out. Now, I would also say that this is also this energy also Saturn in fourth, especially it it could sometimes play out as a parent if they are fragile or they are in a stage of not so positive health, that the parent might, if it's their time, they might pass. So it's just something that happens sometimes. So it's essential to take care of your parents during this time. Um Apart from this polarity, what's helping you in this very intense energy is that your ruler, Venus, is forming a gorgeous Earth trine with Saturn and Uranus. What is Uranus doing? Uranus has been transforming your married life over the last, I don't know, a decade almost. I mean, your partnerships, who you work with, your partner had probably been going through a lot of changes. Like, I'm an Aries and I'm married to a Libra. I was undergoing a lot of changes myself, and our relationship got redefined. And you might have redefined your partnership, your married life, or your business partnership. Now you are entering a phase where you're redefining or having a rebirth yourself, having redefined partnerships. You are a Libra. Libras grow with partnerships. So once they redefine their partnerships, they get redefined as a result as well. And you have Uranus in 8th, which it entered in Taurus in May. It has initiated a sense of transformation about yourself. You are modifying yourself. It is also going to might have transformed or initiated the transformation of your intimacy with your partner, and or your partner's resources. So all of that is coming about, and it's working, and your transformation is working in positive energy with you working very hard at home, Saturn in fourth house, and your ruler is working in positive energy with all of this. What happens as a result of that is a positive material manifestation in your life. You would, in a earth grand trine, see a manifestation of positivity come about in the first 2 weeks of July. So I think this is a fabulous energy for you. I'm very excited for it personally. It's also a grounding energy. When you have a earth trine, it's very grounding, and when your ruler is involved in it, it normally gives you a positive energy. Only thing I would warn you in this regard is that it's squaring Sun, especially if you are a early Libra, that is your end September born maybe. This Saturn might be squaring you, so just have patience, humility. Your confidence might be getting redefined. So just remember that it's a transit which is for your positive. So just have that at the back of your mind if you're an early Libra. Now, moving on to what I said at the start, Mars retrograde going through your fifth house of your love partnerships, your creativity, your love for others in the world. The love that you give to others is getting redefined. Now, Mars is undergoing retrograde end of June itself. Today, I'm recording this on 23rd of June, so it's just about summer solstice. The season is about to change. Summer is about to begin. Cancer starts the Cancer sign, like you would start a season. Cancer starts a season too. Your cardinal signs. So it's start of summer season, and bang at the start of the summer season, Mars, the planet of drive, goes retrograde. I don't know if it is supposed to be, because everybody is supposed to go on holiday during the summer, but it's not a very holidayish or a comforting energy. Mars goes retrograde every 2 years, so it's not like a very rare thing that happens, but it goes retrograde in a specific sign and affects a specific house only after many, many years. So, for example, this Mars retrograde is happening on 26th of June at 9 degree Aquarius in your fifth house. This happened last in 1971. So, if you were around in 1971 and you remember what happened at that time, this is a reminder of that. It's a transit which is quite prolonged. I mean, you would be going through a retrograde phase for 2 months, but you are retracing, Mars will be retracing its steps like almost over 6 months. So this started 17th of March, Mars going into your fourth house, you're working on your house, you're working with your parents, a lot of energy is spent there. Then it enters your love focus, your children, your creativity, your creative projects around in mid May, and now you need to retrace some of that. Something did not go right in how you are handling your love relationships, how you're handling your emotional fulfillment. And Mars retrograde has the lesson of trying to tell you to strategize your drive. What does strategize your drive mean? It has to teach you how to get more efficient in this area of your life. Probably you're not getting what you need from your love relationships. Either a love relationship is not working out, or the way you're relating to your children is not working out, or your creative hobby that you wanted to go after. Maybe this work life polarity is not letting you focus on your hobbies, and there's a frustration that sets in. Mars retrograde always starts off with a frustration and irritation of some sort. Tempers are high. You will see a little bit of fights going on because of that in your personal relationships, in your love relationships. This is just a warning. I mean, you do better when you know better. So you probably know better when you know that this energy is playing out, and that's what astrology is all about. So you would come out of this okay during mid-August, October phase, but at this point in time, just be aware that you might be getting frustrated in this area, but the lesson is for you to know that you're putting effort in the right people, or you're dealing with your children in the right way, so you're getting what you want out of this relationship, and this will teach you to direct your energy in the right way. In the same area of your life, there is a full moon total eclipse, which is lunar eclipse, which is happening on 27th of July. And I wanted to tie the two together because this full moon will be with Mars and South Node. So you would have some amount of closure, maybe a letting go in this area. Maybe you realize after trying to redirect your energy, trying to rework a relationship, that no, it's not working out for you, and this is not how you should be treated in a love relationship, and you decide to move on. Or you might become more detached. Or you might believe that there is some amount of being with a person that you don't want to be like, or you change how your behavior is in a relationship. This is also in terms of children, because this is fifth house is also the house of children, so it affects your relationship with your children. There is a possibility maybe of a new child might be around the corner. That might happen. This is something. Full moon is supposed to be about closure in some area of your life. Maybe you're moving to the next phase soon, and it might also be that your children are playing out. You might feel some sort of behavioral issue that you may be facing. And as I said, Mars retrograde teaches you how to deal with that. You take that as a lesson in every relationship, right? So that's what it is. On this energy could also tie back with your work, because fifth house is house or your talents, your creativity. So you also might be working towards being acknowledged for your talents and creativity, which might help you achieve the new title you're working out for. So if there's something that you feel you have in you, a creativity that you have in you, but it hasn't shined out, Mars retrograde teaches you how to get that creativity out in the more strategic manner, so it's highlighted to the people you need it to be highlighted to. And the full moon is a culmination in that. You might get acknowledged around 27th of July in that area. So that's how it might play out for you. There's a lot happening in this month. July 26th, Mars will go retrograde. There's a cooling off period when Mercury goes retrograde. You're an air sign. You'll see communication getting a bit slower. Fights with friends because it's in your 11th house of friends. So end of the month, the energy becomes very different. It's more things slow down a little bit at work, and you want things to slow down at that time. So you might also, when Mercury goes retrograde in your 11th house of higher goals, you might also start having doubts about this new goal that you're looking towards. So just be aware that it's temporary. You're reworking something that you already have in hand. Try to not initiate something new when Mercury is retrograde around July 26th. If you have to do something, you do it, but try to not initiate something during the after July 26th. Watch out for that. Apart from that, what I'll watch out for this will be, because it's the new moon solar eclipse is on the 12th of July, squaring your ascendant or sun. I'll be careful a little bit on the health side. Libra are a bit more susceptible to lower back issues, and Mars is ruled by muscles. So I'll be careful about pulling a muscle or two while working out, or just some lower back issues at that time. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great month ahead. Do tell me how it went about for you. I'm really, really keen on knowing about that. Do like, subscribe, and comment. I really appreciate it. Thank you.